Black technology use in disrupting the status quo. The technological status quo is one that has been entrenched in catering to mainstream, lighter skinned hues within America and abroad. Even the facial recognition network that the thermographer Shalini Kantaya gives space to in the documentary Coded Bias answers the question in the affirmative that Big Brother is still watching. And he sees much more than we realize. At the same time, he chooses not to see certain things. Joy Buolamwini, MIT PhD student in 2020, exposed the fact that people of color are not and were not meant to initially be a part of facial recognition technology. In her science fabrication doctoral class, she wanted to make a mirror to inspire her in the morning in which she was setting out to create a form of wearable technology in which she would place overlays and filters over her face to become one with people who inspire her, such as Serena Williams. The problem was that Joy's face was undetected. It was undetected until, that is, she put on a white mask. After putting on the white mask, then Joy's face was detected. Herein introduces a type of technological design dilemma. She says machines are often taught to see by using training sets. The issue that emerges here is that most machines are provided with white or very lighter skinned training sets. This is exclusion at its finest. They do not see us if we have a darker hue. Artificial intelligence, or AI, as described in the Coded Bias documentary, has been around for decades, beginning at Dartmouth College in the 60s. The founders of AI were all white men who seemed to have as the premise speculative design of AI, considering that darker hues were not factored into the AI equation. It is incredible to me that Amiri Baraka's essay, Technology and Ethos, parallels assertions in Woodrow Winchester's essay, Engaging the Black Ethos, that Black people need to be an intentional part of technology, and we do. What has me awe-stricken is that even though these essays were written more than 50 years apart, Amiri Baraka stated the same as Winchester when he said, Black creation powered by the Black ethos, brings very special results, which are forms that will express us truthfully and totally. Baraka's essay was penned in 1965, in the same decade that AI was brought forth. Baraka and Winchester's essays let us know that Afrofuturism had to become a reality because of the fact that darker hues were not considered when AI was brought forth. And I believe that Afrofuturism is the space in which those of us who were held involuntarily in bondage over 400 years ago have now become free to create ourselves in the way that we choose. Representation has always mattered, but people of color have either had to become content with being void of representation or eager to create the representation that we need to have to show the world that we exist in media. The creation of our own representation creates rhetorical spaces for us in which we create the written and spoken frameworks for understanding our ancestral, cosmic, and transcendental existences. For example, as in prior readings, we discussed how the rhetoric of Black Lives Matter began with a hashtag in which other Black technological uses burgeoned from that, such as Black IG, Black TikTok, and Black Twitter. Winchester also asserts in his essay that Afrofuturism can function just as much a framework for activism as a lens for imagining new and more inclusive technologies. He goes on to discuss how, even though Wakanda is an imagined place, it is also a place that is reinterpreted as a black hub of technology. I can readily relate to that because Wakanda is a perfect utopian blend of technology, rhetoric, technical communication, and the use of high-tech artificial, or may I say real intelligence, including facial recognition technology, in which black people are seen. We are seen in Wakanda. The enthymeme of AI is that while the technology of AI fuels the intelligence piece, it is the lack of representation in the training sets fed to the technology systems causing it to not recognize black faces, thus underscoring the fact that programming is indeed embodied logic. Therein is another example of an enthymeme because while programming is embodied by any holder or programmer of codes with regards to AI, the rhetoric lies in the question of where is the logic, if there's logic at all. It is illogical to exclude black and darker hues from technological spaces, which is why spaces have been created to help us make ourselves seen in and make ourselves members of the constantly transformational technological world. Thank you.